Welcome everyone, it's Mary Fish with Stampin' Pretty and stampinpretty.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator and I sell these gorgeous coordinating products as well as post to my blog each day. So please stop by, you can shop, you can learn, you can subscribe to my daily blog updates or my newsletter. I also make sure that the latest Stampin' Up offers and promotions are available to you as well. Today's card, I call it a rainbow card because I used Daubers to create this beautiful, colorful background. And I also used some key ingredients. One is this Florentine die, and I will share in the YouTube description a little more information on these magnet cards as well as the little pockets. The magnet cards are from Stampin' Storage, and these pocket envelopes are from Totally Tiffany. They are not Stampin' Up products, but I will share how I got them. I love them, and so I've used this cover plate die to create this wonderful overlay on top of these gorgeous, gorgeous colors. So I wanted to give you a quick demonstration on how easy it is to do that background. And you could use any colors that you want, but we're gonna have a little bit of fun. I'm using Stampin' Up Daffodil ink, and I'm turning this on the diagonal, and I have some grid paper below to protect my surface. And I'm gonna start out, as I said, with Daffodil Delight. I usually go off a little bit just to make sure I'm not going too far. And I'm gonna start out just adding some color. Pretty simple, right? And since I'm going to another color that's fairly similar, this is Mango a Melody. I am just going to use the same dauber, little test area, and I'm going to just start blending it in. It's more golden. I'm going to allow it to really get rich like that as well, to kind of show a change. You know, kind of more of an ombre. See how this is a little lighter? And it will all lighten up a little bit as we move forward. Next, let's try Calypso Coral. And I'm gonna let it work in a little bit even. Okay, and just create a soft edge with just a little less pressure. Doesn't have to look gorgeous. Trust me, when you layer that die cut on it, it looks amazing. I want to just make sure I go all the way to the edge. Okay, and now I'm going to move on to Melon Mambo, or Melon Mambo, as my friend Brian King wants to make sure I call it. I always think of Mambo Italiano. I think that was a song, Dean Martin song, if anybody wants to tell me. By the way, I love your comments. Please feel free to leave a comment on YouTube with an idea, a suggestion, something that you liked about the video. I respond to each and every one. And then we're going to try a little berry burst. You can certainly do a variety of different things. This would be gorgeous with just a simple ombre of blue. Start out with balmy blue, move into pool party, and then work all the way through to night of navy if you like. So this is Berry Burst. It just has a little more of a purpley effect. Super pretty. I know it may look subtle on here, but you can definitely see the change once we finish up. It's almost kind of tie-dye, isn't it? Sometimes I get a little inky doing this one, by the way. So keep that in mind. I'm gonna just make sure I get the color off of here. I do reuse my daubers, so I just rinse them out really good in the sink, and I keep using them. And this is Gorgeous Grape. I love the contrast it provides at the finish line. Super pretty. See, it doesn't even look that fantastic. You're probably thinking, oh my gosh, that's so not smooth, but it doesn't matter, because it's going to look amazing at the finish line. Okay, so we're done. And I just want to show you really quickly, you know, kind of, I'm going to flip this over so you can see a little bit better how the magic happens. I have pre-cut using that die, and you can just see, it's gonna lighten up a little bit, but you can just see how beautiful that is. And then I will trim this cardstock so that it fits behind, and then I would adhere it. So you can you see now kind of where I'm coming from? Isn't that just luscious? And you can certainly do that same effect with many other things. For example, doilies would be really, really pretty, but I just find it especially beautiful behind this gorgeous die. I'm gonna bring the die back so you can see a little bit more again. This is the Florentine Filigree stamp set from Stampin' Up. I'm nuts about the sentiments, and then these are all designed to work with the die. Let me just show you one of them so you know what I'm talking about. But that's how the stamp image is, and then you can line it up and create patterns. I'm hoping to do a mosaic because it pops out all these pieces, so you could pop in other colors that you die cut and really have a great time playing with it. I think the sentiments are gorgeous, and I used the All Days Are Beautiful that begin with you right here, and then I used a couple of our clear droplets and some baker's twine, and then I adhered it to a card base of thick Whisper White cardstock with Stampin' Dimensionals, just to give it that little bit of lift. But really a simple and clean card. And then if you really want to make your life simple, I did the card over again, kind of deja vu, so that you can see this card styled just a little differently, but really, for the most part, identical. But I used the same sentiment, I used the same die cut, I used the same background, but this time I guess you could say I cheated. I used an actual piece of designer series paper rather than doing my own coloring or stamping on the background. And because you're probably wondering, I used the rose trellis dies from Stampin' Up. I think these are called framelits dies. Sometimes they're thinlits and sometimes they're a combination. I used this die that does an amazing job cropping out this shape and all those little dots. Make sure you have your die brush to kind of go over it quickly to get those little dots when they're perforated out quickly and easily. And then for this one, I added with vellum and Whisper White some of these leaves. So I used a little bit more of the rose trellis dies on this one. So I hope you learned a little something fun and new today. I think this is one absolutely gorgeous die for year-round, for birthday, for Easter, for thank you, you name it. And I think these are two really simple and fun with a little bit of technique options for the background. So thank you for joining me today. Please leave a comment and stop by my blog, Mary Fish with stampinpretty.com. Bye-bye.